Where in the world are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. Before we dive into this heartwarming story, hit subscribe so you'll never miss the most courageous dog tales we share every day. Because some stories are so incredible, so filled with twists and turns, they remind us that truth often hides in plain sight, and heroes come in the most unexpected forms. This is one of them. This compelling narrative masterfully weaves a tale of betrayal, redemption, and the undeniable power of intuition, particularly through the remarkable actions of Jax the Labrador. Initially, Elias, like many of us, dismisses the subtle warnings and escalating agitation from his loyal companion, blinded by the illusion of a perfect love. This relatable human flaw serves as a poignant reminder of how easily we can overlook the truth when it challenges our deeply held desires. However, Jax's persistent, almost desperate attempts to communicate the impending danger underscore the profound significance of an animal's bond and their innate ability to perceive threats beyond human comprehension. His barks, his nudges, and his furious struggle against confinement weren't just random acts. They were clear, albeit nonverbal pleas to save his human. The story beautifully elevates Jax from a mere pet to a pivotal character whose unwavering loyalty and sharp instincts directly lead to the unraveling of a sophisticated criminal plot and the rescue of Elias from financial and emotional ruin. His heroism is not a plot device, but the very catalyst for the narrative's resolution and ultimate message of hope and vigilance. The Georgia sun, a golden embrace, shimmered over the sprawling plantation estate. Every detail of Elias Vance's wedding to the breathtaking Serena Dubois was perfection, a testament to his success as a renowned architect and his deep, unwavering love. Laughter mingled with the scent of jasmine, painting a scene straight out of a dream. Elias, a man who had built his life on precision and trust, believed this was his masterpiece. But even the most beautiful facades can hide the darkest secrets. Weeks before the wedding, subtle, unsettling moments began. Jax, Elias's loyal Labrador, a dog known for his calm and affectionate nature, started exhibiting strange behaviors around Serena. He might subtly nip at the hem of her wedding dress during a fitting, or emit a low, almost imperceptible growl whenever Serena shared an intimate moment with Elias. These nudges, easily dismissed by Elias and others as just Jax being protective, were the first whispers of warning. He once saw Jax recoil when Serena tried to pet him, a fleeting yet stark image that Elias quickly pushed from his mind. Then came the day. As Serena, a vision in white lace, began her slow, graceful walk down the aisle, a guttural snarl shattered the idyllic silence. It wasn't a casual whine, it was a desperate, enraged bark, sharp and loud, echoing through the stunned silence. All eyes turned to Jax, straining against his leash, his gaze locked, not on the bride's beauty, but on something unseen, something terrifying radiating from her. A nervous ripple went through the guests. Elias's sister, Imani, a sharp-witted lawyer, rushed to calm Jax. Jax's fury remained. His eyes, usually full of warmth, now blazed with a raw, instinctual alarm. Serena, however, remained unnervingly composed, her smile fixed, a mask of calm amidst the chaos. Reluctantly, Jax was led away, his barks slowly fading, replaced by the polite murmurs of guests. The ceremony resumed, but for Elias, a seed of profound unease, planted by his loyal canine, had taken root. Confined to a back room, Jax's distress escalated. He clawed at the ornate wooden door, pacing in tight circles, ears forward, tail stiff. A low whine rumbled in his chest, a silent anguish only he felt. He knew, with an instinct far sharper than any human logic, that something was terribly, fundamentally wrong. This isn't just a story about a dog, it's a profound reminder to listen to the silent alarms in our own lives, especially when our hearts are on the line. How often do we rationalize away that gut feeling, that insistent whisper, simply because the surface looks too perfect? Elias was about to learn the devastating cost of ignoring his best friend's undeniable warning. The reception pulsed with light and laughter, yet Elias felt an unsettling dissonance. His mother, Esther, a retired social worker with decades of unmasking hidden truths, leaned close to Imani. "That wasn't right," she whispered. "No flinch, no confusion, just calculation." Esther's instincts, honed by countless cases of deception, screamed danger. She'd seen this calm before, the kind that masks a storm. As the evening wore on, Serena excused herself, claiming she needed to freshen up. But Elias, now subtly hyper-aware, noticed her slip upstairs. The second she passed the guest room where Jax was confined, he erupted. He lunged against the door, rattling the hinges, his furious barks echoing down the hall. A staff member, startled, asked Elias if they should let the dog out. Elias, his mind racing, nodded. When Jax was finally released, he didn't run to Elias. He sprinted, a furry arrow, straight up the grand staircase, his focus unwavering. Elias followed, his heart pounding. Jax led him directly to an antique desk in the study where Serena had briefly been. The Labrador began nudging fiercely at a loose floorboard. Intrigued, Elias knelt. Hidden in a narrow cavity, he found a small, ornate wooden box. Inside, not just a list of names and bank accounts, but a tarnished locket. Engraved on the back were the initials M.R. Not Serena's, not Elias's. Inside, 2 faded photos, a woman in a police uniform and a serious-faced little girl. This tangible, mysterious object, unearthed by Jax, was the first undeniable crack in Serena's perfect facade. Sleep utterly deserted Elias that night. Jax, still agitated, paced the hallway outside their bedroom, occasionally pressing his nose to the door, letting out a soft, persistent whine. Elias found Esther sitting upright, a stack of papers on her lap. "Why are you digging into her past?" Elias asked, his voice strained. Esther's gaze was unwavering. "Because the name she gave us doesn't exist, Elias. Not legally. Not in this country." She showed him photocopies, no birth certificate, no school records, no medical history for a Serena Dubois born in Atlanta. "I found another name, Mia Thompson," Esther continued, her voice low. "There's a pattern. A woman using that name has been involved in at least 3 high society weddings in the past 6 years. Each time, she vanished after the wedding, and each groom reported major financial losses." Elias felt a chilling dread. "You think she's marrying me for my money?" Esther's eyes held his. "I think she's done it before, Elias. And I think she's very, very good at it." This wasn't just about financial gain. It was about a profound violation of trust, a betrayal that cut to the very core of Elias's being. This story isn't just about financial scams, it's about a profound violation of trust. How many of us, especially in our communities, have put our faith in someone who seemed to have it all together, only to find out they were building on a foundation of lies? It's a harsh lesson in discernment, a vital one for protecting our hearts and our legacies. And sometimes, the truth whispers, or in this case, barks, long before we're ready to hear it. The morning after Esther's revelation, Elias forced himself to maintain a chilling charade. Serena was bright, effervescent, chatting happily about honeymoon destinations. Elias smiled, nodded, every gesture a performance. The weight of betrayal pressed down on him, a sickening feeling of foolishness. He sought solace in the only one who truly saw. "You saw something, didn't you, boy?" he whispered, kneeling beside Jax. "Help me figure out what." He knew now that his dog was his only true confidant in this terrifying new reality. Later that day, Elias began his desperate search. His gaze fell upon a forgotten suitcase under the guest room bed, a crucial detail Serena had somehow overlooked in her meticulous planning. Inside, beneath layers of clothes and cosmetics, was a makeup bag with a discreet zippered pocket. His heart hammered as he unzipped it, his fingers trembling, and there it was. A different passport, a different name, Mia Thompson. The face in the photo was undeniably Serena's, but with a harder edge, a less polished look, almost a ghost of the woman he thought he knew. But the discovery didn't stop there. Elias noticed a subtle bulge, a cleverly concealed panel inside the suitcase lining. He pried it open, revealing a flash drive taped flat. His hands shook as he inserted it into his laptop. It wasn't encrypted. Folder after chilling folder opened, revealing a vast, intricate web of deception. This wasn't just about individual cons. It was a professional, merciless criminal enterprise. The folders, meticulously labeled by location and date, Miami Beach 2020, Houston 2021, Los Angeles 2023, contained a horrifying trove of evidence. Fake IDs and birth certificates, a chilling blueprint of identity theft, showing how they meticulously crafted believable personas from thin air. Victim profiles. Disturbingly detailed dossiers on wealthy individuals, including their financial vulnerabilities, social circles, and even personal habits. Elias's own profile was there, chillingly accurate, indicating he wasn't just a random target, but a carefully selected long-term mark. Money laundering schematics. Complex diagrams and spreadsheets illustrating how stolen assets were converted into untraceable funds, moved through offshore accounts and shell corporations across multiple continents, painting a picture of a sophisticated global operation. Encrypted communications. Glimpses into chillingly detached conversations between Serena and other unseen masterminds, Their cold, calculating exchanges spoke of ruthless efficiency and a terrifyingly wide-reaching network. Surveillance photos. Unsettling, candid shots of Elias and his family at various events, dinners, even in their own home, demonstrating the incredible depth of their pre-engagement surveillance. This wasn't love, it was a meticulously orchestrated ambush. Elias sat frozen for what felt like an eternity, unable to move, unable to breathe. The woman he had loved, the woman who had promised him forever, was a phantom, a meticulously constructed lie. Every kiss, every whispered word of love, all part of a monstrous charade. That evening he confided everything to Esther, his voice raw with disbelief and pain. "We have to stop her," he said, his resolve hardening into steel. Esther's response was immediate and firm. "I've already contacted someone at the State Department. They're interested. Until then, watch her. Don't tip her off." In an age where information is power and deception can hide behind a perfect smile and a meticulously crafted online persona, Elias's story serves as a chilling reminder. We often share so much of ourselves, our lives, our dreams, especially with those we love and trust. But what happens when that trust is weaponized? This section underscores the critical importance of digital literacy, due diligence, and recognizing the red flags that suggest a carefully constructed illusion. It's a powerful call for vigilance in a world where not everyone is who they seem, and some are part of a much larger, darker game. The next few days were a desperate, agonizing charade. Elias played the part of the devoted husband, every smile a performance, every touch a lie. Serena, ever composed, subtly tested him. Over breakfast, she casually proposed transferring a significant sum into a joint account for a new investment, or signing crucial legal documents related to his properties. Elias's heart hammered, but he managed to deflect, citing needing to review details with his lawyers, a risky play that made Jax restless, whining almost imperceptibly at Elias's feet, sensing the unspoken tension. The sense of being watched intensified. Jax grew increasingly agitated at night, barking fiercely at the fence line. One morning, Elias found a back gate ajar, then muddy boot prints near the porch. He immediately upgraded his home's security system, motion-activated cameras, blinding floodlights, remote-controlled locks. The palpable dread tightened its grip, a cold hand on his spine. Then the anonymous envelope arrived. Blank, Manila, no return address. Inside a single, faded photograph. A younger Mia, Liana, at a train station, looking small and terrified. Scrawled across the back in bold block letters, "She's not who you think, stay out of this." A dark fingerprint smudge marred one corner. This wasn't just a disgruntled former mark, this was a direct, chilling warning from the hidden network. Liana, identified by her true name, Liana Thompson, was eventually moved to protective custody. At the visitation center, she looked vastly different from the poised Serena. Her shoulders slumped, her eyes haunted. Elias pressed her, asking why she had lied, why she was part of this. She remained guarded, defiant even, but then Elias spoke of Jax. "My dog," he said, his voice soft but firm. "He never stopped barking, and now I know why. He saw the truth, Liana, long before I ever could." Something shifted in her eyes. It was as if Jax's unwavering, instinctual judgment was the one thing she couldn't deny. Tears welled. "I was 16, she confessed, her voice barely a whisper, "when they dropped me in a state home. They told me my mom died. Everything after that was me trying to survive." She revealed the brutal truth. She was coerced into the marriages by a ruthless, sophisticated network that trafficked identities and laundered fortunes, preying on vulnerable youth like herself. They had been hunting her for years, terrified she would expose their operation. Elias pulled out the tarnished locket he had found. Liana's eyes widened, then filled with a fresh wave of pain. "That was Officer Maria Rodriguez's," she choked out. Maria had been a kind police officer, her unofficial foster mother, who had secretly been investigating a similar identity theft ring before her accidental death. This was the crushing plot twist. Maria's death was no accident. She was murdered because she was too close to exposing this very network. The locket's inscription, "Find her, finish what I never could," now resonated with a deeper, more urgent meaning for Elias. He knew he had to help Liana, not just for his sake, but for Maria's, for all the others trapped in this sinister web. The climax hit at 2:47 a.m. The back gate sensor pinged. Silence. Then another ping, closer to the porch. Elias grabbed his flashlight. Jax, sensing the impending danger, stood beside him, a low, ominous growl rumbling in his chest. A hooded figure stood near the tree line, watching. Elias froze. But Jax did not. The Labrador launched himself off the porch, barking with a deafening fury, a sound that tore through the pre-dawn quiet. The figure turned and ran, disappearing into the woods. Jax, however, was relentless. He pursued the man, not just barking but expertly dodging, nipping at the intruder's heels, slowing him down, giving Elias precious seconds. Soon police sirens wailed in the distance. They found fresh tire tracks and a still-burning cigarette near the gate. Undeniable proof. This was Jax's moment of pure, unadulterated heroism, a silent sentinel who became a fierce protector. This isn't just a story about a dog chasing a bad guy, it's a testament to the primal instinct of protection, the unwavering loyalty of an animal who truly sees and understands. For those of us who have felt hunted, unseen, or unheard in our own struggles, Jax's relentless pursuit becomes a symbol of hope, a reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected allies emerge when we need them most. It's about finding the courage to fight back, to trust those who truly stand by you, and to never underestimate the power of protection that can come in furry form. Liana Thompson, no longer Mia Dubois, stood before the court. Her voice, though soft, was unwavering, as she exposed the vast criminal enterprise that had ensnared her and countless others. She confessed to her own part, but laid bare the insidious machinery behind it. The men who ran the operations, how they preyed on vulnerable youth, the false promises of safety that had morphed into chains. The verdict was fair, a testament to her courage, time served, supervised release, and full immunity for future testimony. As Liana walked out of the courtroom, a free woman for the first time in years, Elias and Jax were there, waiting. She knelt, burying her face in Jax's thick fur, tears silently streaming. "I missed you, boy," she whispered. Jax let out a single, soft bark, then licked her cheek, a simple gesture of forgiveness and welcome. This wasn't just a reunion, it was the dawn of a new life. Armed with Liana's testimony and the locket's elusive clue, Elias, with the unwavering support of the FBI, poured his resources into finding Officer Maria Rodriguez. They scoured old foster records, delved into forgotten case files, and followed leads that crisscrossed 3 states. Jax was Elias's constant companion, a silent, comforting presence throughout the arduous search, a furry symbol of hope and unwavering loyalty. Finally, the trail led them to a quiet retirement home in rural Alabama. There, they met Margaret Rodriguez, an older woman with trembling hands and eyes that held the weight of decades of unresolved grief. When Elias gently handed her the faded photo from the locket, she gasped, then broke down. "That's my baby," she whispered, tears streaming down her weathered cheeks. "Ripley told me she ran away. That she didn't want to see me again." Elias's voice was gentle but firm. "She never stopped looking, ma'am. They just made sure she never found you." The reunion between Liana and her mother was quiet, deeply emotional, a testament to the enduring power of family, even after decades of cruel separation. Jack sat between them, his tail gently thumping, a silent witness to a circle finally being completed. That summer, they planted a live oak in the sprawling backyard of Elias's home, sturdy, deep-rooted, a symbol of growth and resilience. Jax loved to nap in its growing shade, a watchful guardian of their newfound peace. Liana, truly free, found purpose volunteering at a local shelter, guiding girls like her, foster kids, runaways, survivors of abuse, helping them find their footing, their voices, their hope. Elias returned to his work, but his priorities had shifted. He came home earlier, cooked more, listened more, and slowly a genuine, unburdened laugh began to return. Jax, ever watchful, took his place on the front porch every evening, observing the world with the wise, quiet eyes of a true hero. The story of Elias, Liana, and Jax is a powerful reminder that sometimes the loudest warnings don't come from people. Sometimes, the truth hides behind perfect smiles and carefully rehearsed lives. And sometimes, a dog knows, long before we do, that what looks like love might be a cry for help, or a second chance waiting to be heard. For those of us who have walked through shadows, who have felt the sting of betrayal or the weight of a past we didn't choose, this story offers hope. Hope for justice, for healing, and for finding genuine connection in the most unexpected places. Have you ever ignored your instincts, that small voice, that inner Jax, and later wished you hadn't? Would you be willing to forgive if the truth was more broken than the lie? Share your stories and your thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a space where we can learn from each other's journeys, and remember, listen to your heart, but never, ever underestimate the profound wisdom and protection that can come in furry form. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring true stories, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure.